Hey everybody, Flux here. So we have a new Create a Class video for you today. This time we're going to focus on the low-level AK47. This is going to be, in my opinion, the best attachments at a lower level to help you max out this gun to then use the best attachments on the gun. Alrighty, so before we get started with the AK47 here, I would just recommend going down to wildcards and adding the Gunfighter wildcard. It unlocks 3 additional attachment slots for your primary weapon. Now with that being said, let's head over to the Gunsmith. The optic, in my opinion, is more of a personal preference, although I do use the mill stop reflex for the low level. It's the first you're gonna get. And honestly, I think it's a little bit better than like the Cobra and stuff like that. It just, in my opinion, takes up a little bit less real estate. Okay, let's head down to the muzzle here. You're gonna see I'm using the muzzle brake. It gives you 4% vertical recoil control. Unfortunately, that's nothing great. It is the best option at a lower level. In my opinion, you do get a lot of recoil with the AK-47, so this is gonna help just a little bit. Now with these attachments, one thing you will notice is the gun will still kick, but it's controllable. It's going to kick up to the left. You're going to notice it goes up to the left a little bit. Even on controller, if you're aiming, I would say near their upper chest, it should kick up, like their upper chest, it should kick up into their head, allowing you to get easy headshots. If you're on mouse and keyboard, all in all, the recoil in general is just easily controllable for this gun with these attachments. Alrighty, so let's head down to the barrel here. So this one was a little bit of a stretch on the level requirement, but the 18.2 VDV reinforced, this is my recommendation because it gives you 40% bullet velocity and 100% effective damage range. Personally, if you could get 100% bullet velocity at this point, I would go for that one, but being as though this is the best one you can get with bullet velocity for the level, then this is the recommendation I would choose. With that being said, bullet velocity is going to help make your gun feel more of like a hit scan, and so a lot of people do notice that it almost feels like there's no bullet registration sometimes. That can obviously be due to the game and netcode and this and that, but a little bit of that can also be caused by the bullet velocity on most stock guns. Bullet velocity on most of the stock guns is pretty bad, so by adding these attachments is going to help significantly. With that being said, I do actually have a video focusing on hit scan, bullet velocity, and hit detection, so if you're more interested in that, just go take a look at that video and that'll help out a lot. Alrighty, so we're going to head down to the body now. Now for the body, I chose the mounted flashlight. That's going to give you 20% reveal distance. Now with 20% reveal distance, that's going to make it so that you can see a red dot above the enemy's player's head. Well, the dot color will be dependent on your colorblind mode and what you have everything tweaked to, but you'll get a dot above the enemy player's head at a further distance, just making it much easier to see enemy players. So I almost always use some type of flashlight on most of my guns. It just makes it so much easier to pick out the people when it's very hard to see the enemies in this game as it is. So for the underbarrel, we just went with the basic foregrip. It gives you 15% horizontal recoil control. For the low levels, this is going to be the best option. It's just going to make everything a lot more controllable like I mentioned earlier. Then we have the 40 round mag. The best option you're going to get because you don't get the 50 round till much later. It also does not affect your ADS time, which is great. Your reload time will be a little slower, so that is one thing to keep in mind. Your placement, your awareness, that's all going to be very important in situations where you're going to have to reload because it is going to take a few extra seconds there. So now let's head down to the handle. We're going to see the drop shot wrap is what I chose. So you do have the speed tape. It gives you 10% ADS time. That is really good, but at the same time I feel as though the AK-47 already ADSs fairly quickly, so I don't think it is completely necessary, but I do think this is a little more of a personal preference still. I personally prefer the drop shot wrap. Gives me flinch resistance and I can ADS, or I can aim in general while going prone. Personally, I'm not much of a drop shotter, so that doesn't help me too much, but that flinch resistance is fantastic. And for the stock, I went with the sprint to fire time. I'm a little bit more of an aggressive player, so the quicker I can sprint to fire, the better. I'm always trying to sprint places, you'll never see me just walking around. If you don't ever sprint, then sprint to fire might not be quite as important for you, but that is my personal recommendation. Alrighty guys, so that is all of the AK47 attachments that I would recommend for the lower level AK47. I will be bringing out a max level AK47 guide as well, which will essentially give you no recoil and great hit detection / hit velocity, so you guys will be pretty happy with that in my opinion. But alrighty guys, thank you for tuning in and watching. Let me know what you think and if you have a better creative class variant for the AK47, and I'll be sure to give it a shot and let you know what I think in the comments. Alrighty guys, take care, I'll see you again soon.